Oh, I've got goosebumps. That hit so hard. That is so catchy, so well played, so well written. Oh, I'm fanboying hard right now. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Then you'll get alerts when all of these go live. Now, we're back with another one from Unleash the Archers. I loved reacting to their new song and video, Abyss. And if that song is representative of the new music to come, then we're all in for a massive treat. On that reaction, a bunch of you guys in the comments said, please go back and try and work your way through the Apex album. So that's what we're going to do today, or at least that's what we're going to start to do today. Before we do, though, I want to tell you a quick story. I get loads of great feedback from you guys, loads of positive comments, things like how good you think my musical knowledge is, or how well I'm able to explain what I'm hearing, or how sharp my ear is. And to be honest, all that is me simply putting in the time and the effort in playing in a band, being in studio, listening to loads of music, writing loads of songs. And I believe that anyone who puts in a similar effort would be able to do the same thing. However, I do want to tell you a quick story about how silly I can be at the same time. I'm still quite new to Unleash the Archers, and as much as I'm getting a grasp for their sound, I think I've done 4 reactions now. This is going into the 5th one. I still have a long way to go. And on my second reaction to Tonight We Ride, I was still very, very much figuring out what their sound was, and didn't really know much about them, especially the members of the band. The only person I knew was Britney Slayers, and that was because the fans really love her, and she's such a wonderful talent that you guys had kind of given me some information about her in the comments. So that's about all I knew. But anyway, I did the reaction to Tonight We Ride. I put it live. And then, as usual, later on in the day, I went into the comments to see what you guys thought, to have a conversation, and to say thank you for spending time watching and supporting. And then I saw a comment that stood out. It was by someone named Grant Truesdell. And he said, "Damn, dude, you picked up on a lot of things about the song. Great job, great reaction. Hope to see you at a show in the future." That kind of sounds like he's in the band, right? So I quickly Googled and I went, oh, damn. He is in the band. And my next thought was, well, maybe this is like a fan account or someone's trolling me. So obviously you don't want to be rude, but I responded and said, wait a second, is this legitimately Grant from UTA? Massively appreciate the feedback and comments. I can't wait to get to a show. My brother lives out that side of the world, so won't be too long. And that was a month ago. And I carried on as per, putting in hard work, making sure I get the reactions done, making sure I put one out every day. And then someone recently commented on Tonight We Ride. So I went back and thought I'll look through the comments just to see that I haven't missed anything, or see if there's anything new that I need to respond to. And then I realized he actually had responded, and I just left it there for about a month. And he pretty much said, when I had said, "Is this really you?" he said, "Indeed, good sir." And then in reference to me coming to a show, he said, "I'm sure it'll happen sooner or later. Who knows, maybe we'll come to you first." So you never know, maybe they're looking at a UK and Europe tour when all this madness comes down. And then he wrote, "Cheers, bro, one of the best reactions I've seen." I think I almost fell off my chair at that point. To get a stamp of approval from someone in the band is pretty fantastic. There's not much that beats that. So Grant, if for some reason you're watching this video, massive thank you. Means the world to me. Thank you for just taking the time to listen to me, listen to you, and it'll teach me to be a little bit more vigilant and responsive in my comments. So thank you very much for that. Now, back to the reaction for today. As I mentioned, you wanted me to take a look at Apex. That's exactly what we're going to do. There is no music video, but there is official audio and canvas art, and that's good enough for me. So Unleash the Archers, Apex. Let's see what you got. I love delay work. I'm going to go back so it leads in. I love delay work when it's done well, and it was done well there. When you add delay with a long decay to it, and what I mean by a long decay is if you played a note once, there'd be quite a few repetitions of that note before it eventually went softer and faded out. And I know they have that on because I can hear it fading there just as I paused. But what that does is it creates a perceived busyness to the guitar work. And what you're able to do then, if you've got that long lead on it, is you can either then on the next loop play on the note that you played before, or you can play in between the notes and create like a syncopated piece. And then that in itself becomes the canvas for the next loop to play over. So I love that kind of stuff, especially when the two guitars came in and started doing the harmonies. That's awesome. The nice thing is no matter how tightly you play those, you're still going to get some offsets, and that adds a lot of character. It's actually personality to the song, and I really like that. And you can also hear those root notes kind of almost waving up and down while the rest of the lead work runs away with it. So there's a lot of character to that. I love the start to this, and it really sets the mood. Can't wait to see where it's going next. We go. Okay, I did not expect that. I love when bands surprise the listener, but when it's not a gimmick, and this wasn't that. This was just a really nice journey of hyping the song up, building it up, and then breaking it down again, deconstructing it. I love when they went from the delay into the distorted piece. It's what I refer to as a transfer, because it's transferring from a clean state that introduced the melody into a distorted or overdriven state. Really nice kind of palm muting work there. Nice ring out of the guitar chords, which was almost that second harmony guitar playing that role. You had the drummer with the off kind of like half-timed hi-hat accents and the cymbal crashes, and then he started building up on the tom fill, and I thought, here we go, it's going to break into something quick and heavy. And now we're in this very delicate, pulled back, slower, gentler piece again, where you have an acoustic guitar and you have a lead guitar that sounds like it's got like a I'm going to go back just a little bit, but it sounds like it's got like a very subtle drive on it. So it's an electric guitar with a clean effect, and it sounds like it's almost overdrive coming from the amp, like the volume's been put up too high. It's really nice. It's like it's croaking as if the guitar needs a glass of water. Very, very smart so far. I love this approach. Can't wait to see what they're going to do next.
Child of your womb, I returned from a perilous place to the warmth of your love. Embrace me.
Her voice is so clear and so beautiful, and so we know what power she's got. We know what notes she can hit. We know what she's got in her bank, or in her arsenal, if you will. So for her to be so restrained and so gentle, it shows a lot of maturity, and I'm all for it.
Steady giant, monolith, lend me your heart. I am weakened again, tired, and my scars.
It's beautiful.
As you call, it sings, take to me. Your roots take their heart.
I'm going back to hear that again, but that is another transfer. So they've done two transfers now of going from that clean introduction of the melody, solidified in your mind, then going into the heavier piece where she's able to elevate her vocals a bit, and I think it's just awesome.
As you call, it sings, take to me. Your roots take their heart.
Big drum sound, really big. Vocal layering. Going back to lead in. Oh man, this is exactly where I wanted it to go. It's where I thought it was going to go in the beginning, and then obviously they kind of pulled us back a bit and created this journey. I'd love to know, does this open the album up? Because if it doesn't, it should. It's one of those scene setters that is just doing such a fantastic job. I love that she only brought in vocal layering when she started pushing the power on her vocals, because she's you can get into a position where you overlay her. She has never done that, but I liked how she kept it soft and solidified, and which paid a tribute to what the gentle nature of the music was doing. And then she brought in her own layer in there at the end. Love that faster piece we've gone into. The drum with is that nice gallop again. That is kind of like the characteristic or the driver of that melody, and then the guitarists doing their nice lead harmonies together. Not overcomplicated, just really catchy, really easy to listen to. I'm a big fan.
Heavy walls enclose me, cover me in endless war. And now the dreams will come. Loose and freedom takes me to a world no longer run by the laws of relativity. Fly.
So it's just transferred into what sounds like a pre-chorus now. So I want to go back to make sure I get it all. But I love how the instrumentation pulls back to allow her voice to shine in that piece. So they were doing the lead work, and then they kind of go back into the palm muted chords and open notes on some, open chords on some instances to kind of show you the chord progression. But I love that they kind of know their place in the song so well. And that's just it's not just about being because I know loads of great guitarists who don't have the maturity and approach that these guys do. But so far, just 10 out of 10.
To a world no longer run by the laws of relativity. Fly up beyond the stars.
Long backing vocal notes held there.
It takes me away and leads me through the dark, defying gravity. Can you follow me? Follow me to apex. Can you follow me to apex?
Oh, I've got goosebumps. That hit so hard. That is so catchy, so well played, so well written. Oh, I'm fanboying hard right now. Proper goosebumps. That was awesome. I love when she sang that line, and you had then the kind of echo of that line behind it, because then that allows her to fill up the gap between starting the next phrase. And the reason that that's important here is because the phrases are quite short and they're quite simple. Not easy, but simple. And the reason that they do that is because that just adds to the catchiness and the listenability, if you will, of that chorus. So cool. So cool.
Through a meadow running, feel the sun upon my face, and the air intoxicates.
Nice reverb on her vocal on this.
Like a river to a waterfall that takes me out beyond reality. Away, you lead me through the dark.
That is that backing vocal that's held. It's going to come in again, I think. I think they do it twice, so have a listen for it. But they've done a really good job of pushing that far away in the mix. So spatial effects, things like reverb, things like actually just standing a bit further back. So that's had natural reverb, standing further back from the mic, changing the frequency, taking some of the frequencies out to make it sound like it's further away. It's awesome. It's been mixed just so well. Whoever this engineer is, buy that man a beer, or woman, could be either. I don't care. It's amazing.
Defying gravity, can you follow me to apex? Can you follow me to apex?
Full circle, we've come back to that build up again. I love the extended build up of that. Man, I love those solo handovers where one guitarist kind of passes over to the next, and it's not as simple as just writing two solos and then on the day you just put them together. There is an understanding of not necessarily knowing what the other person's playing, but just knowing the other guitarist and the chemistry that makes that work so well. Love what the bass is doing underneath with the drony playing to support the drummer. That creates a really nice canvas for them to play on. And obviously that's my buddy Grant's playing over there. You know, we speak often in the comments, so I'm taking it too far. But yeah, love that. Great solo. Why wouldn't there be some really technical speed in there in terms of the runs they were doing? Really nice stuff. But still staying true to the melody of the song, which is nice. I don't feel like it's drifted away. They did so much up and down building, and now they've kind of pushed it up to 10, or it just hit 11. That octave shift. I knew I was waiting for one of those like little frills that she doesn't go back to it again, because it's fantastic and it's awesome. She's so good at it. I could hear this chorus on loop all day. I'd be fine. Like this deconstruction of the song now.
Brother Mountain, now he sleeps.
I knew that was coming.
For 1,000 years, I will see you again. Something is coming.
I don't know if it's just the visualization of this, but hearing her voice with that kind of reverb and echo and seeing the mountains drawn on you, it feels like it was sung there. It's just awesome.
Coming for me.
Oh. Wow. Just incredible, just fantastic. yeah. I mean, they are so good at playing the individual instruments. They are equally as good at writing songs. They seem to have what I can only describe as a fantastic. I almost want to go as far as to say friendship, because it's the chemistry that they have when they're playing. It shines through in the small little things, the handover of the solos, the dedication to the construction and deconstruction, the knowing when to let the vocal shine or when to let the bass shine. And a lot of that credit normally gets given to a producer, but I would be very, very surprised if they weren't responsible for just about all of that. So love that. Can't wait for the next one. We're on a journey with this. I promise you that there will be regular ones from this album. And I am just so jacked that I got to hear that. I'm going to be listening to it all day. So thank you so much for putting me onto that. I really hope you enjoyed this one, because I thoroughly did. Let me know where to go next. And yeah, until the next one, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.